Board of you. Before we hit the main session, though, Mr. James Wilde has and Mr. Holden some questions about the progress on gambling since our last hearing on that. So over to you, Mr. Wilde. James Wilde.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, Ms. Healy will recall from our last session, our report, that there's a lot of interest from the committee and across Parliament. Are you able to give us an update on the time frame for when the review of the legislation will be announced?
Of course. Can I just briefly say it's the Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, which is obviously
forgive me.
Today
Forgive me. Old habits die hard.
It's all right. I'm not able to give you a firm timeline on that today, I'm afraid, Mr. Wilde. We will obviously seek to publish that as soon as possible. You'll obviously understand the department's been extremely busy in recent months dealing with the consequences of COVID, but we are nevertheless aware that there is significant interest in making progress on that as quickly as possible, and ministers remain keen to do so.
If you were to put a bet on it, would we expect to see it before Christmas?
I would expect to see it in the relatively near future, but not imminently.
Okay, I don't know what that means.
That's a good civil service response then, Ms. Healy.
Spring.
You're going to try again, Mr. Wilde?
No, I don't think so.
You know when you're beaten, Ms. Healy.
My predecessor used to say in the next period of time, but I think that's even less than that.
Ms. Healy, you're auditioning for the next generation of Yes Minister, clearly. Well, I'll try Mr. Richard Holden and see if he can get anything more. Mr. Holden.
Thank you, Chair. Ms. Healy, we're just wondering, given that there's already been a review into, or a call for evidence on under-18s and gambling, just wondered, is there any likelihood of movement on that before the broader review is launched?
Well, obviously that's a matter for ministers to decide whether they want to make that policy change or not, and not really an issue for me to comment on.
And have you...
It's very annoying, isn't it? Bell for prayers, Mr. Holden.
Have you heard, is there any indication that there might be any movement on any of the under-18 gambling before from within the department? Have you made any preparations for that at all?
So I'm really sorry, but that's really just a policy change decision for ministers that they haven't taken or announced as yet.
Okay.